Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go to Charlotte in the Truck Series as well as Pocono and Xfinity and the Cup. And we had subscriber Alec Tuttle in the truck today for Charlotte. And unfortunately, once again, we're having trouble with speed in this truck, getting kind of the employees and the upgrades figured out. So it's still a work in progress with this team, but he started down in P24. And like I said, we struggled with speed once again here in Charlotte. So hopefully we can really get this figured out now within the coming episodes. But Alec, he would climb up, to P25 as we came to the final lap of this race, as we came through turns 3 and turns 4. So it's already looking like we're going to need a victory if we want to get this team into the playoffs. Now, as we came out of turn 4, Tuttle would come through to finish in the 25th position, as we just really need to get these upgrades going and fix the speed. But now we cut straight into the Xfinity Series, where William Byron started in the 13th position for our team. Obviously, he's struggling once again on the Cup side in the 24 car. Now, as he comes through turns 1 on the inside of the 16, we right behind him, he had Austin Cindric, but William would be able to move his way forward quite easily as he came towards the final lap in the Xfinity Series race. He had moved up to P4, actually trying to pass Michael Annett for the 3rd position as he came through turns 3, and now he would be clear of Annett for 3rd. Now as he came out of the corner, heading down the front straightaway for the final time, William Byron would come through to finish in the 3rd position for our team here at Pocono. So a good result by William. Obviously, we still need to get our Truck Series stuff going, but as it came through now to qualifying in the Cup Series on the exit of turn 3, it was actually a pretty decent lap now. As we come through to cross the line, we go P10 with a 50.686 with Kevin Harvick on the pole and Truex joining him on the front row. So hopefully we can get up front here and battle for a win.
We're coming to you live from Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania for today's running of the Pocono 400. Now, this tricky triangle is different than any other track these drivers will encounter all year. There are only 3 turns, each unique in design. Also, the tight turns and relatively low banking will require drivers to do a lot more shifting than the typical 2.5-mile speedway. So nailing the setup of the car is crucial. Which of these teams will unravel the mystery that is Pocono and make their way to victory lane? Well, the green flag is in the air. Let's go find out.
Alright, we're ready to go green here for the Pocono 400, obviously, at Pocono Raceway. Martin Truex Jr. hasn't forgiven us, so we got to watch out for him today at the tricky triangle. Ty Dillon had an engine change after qualifying, so he is starting at the back of the field there. As you see your pole winner, Kevin Harvick, getting ready to take us green now as we get ready to go green from the 10th starting position. Alongside Kyle Busch behind us, we got William Byron, our teammate up ahead. It's Newman and Keselowski now as Harvick leads away as the green flag is out. We are underway here in Pocono. We have won here before a few seasons back when we drove the 41 car, so we know we have speed to win this race. Maybe here today in Pocono. Obviously, we've had a rough stretch of races recently. With the last 3 races, we have not finished in the top 10, but we rallied back last episode in Charlotte after a rough night to come through to get an 11th place finish, and I really felt like that was a confidence booster that we can figure something out here today in Pocono and manage to get a good run now as we go down the straightaway towards the tunnel turn side by side with William Byron. We would get clear of him as we went down into the tunnel turn now as Kyle Busch is on the inside of Logano. Logano gets clear of Busch, looks to the outside of his Penske Racing teammate as Truex falls from 2nd to almost 7th or so as we go down towards turn 3. I thought about sticking it up the inside of Kyle Busch, but I thought better of it. It's only at lap 1 now as we come through on the inside of Logano on the exit of turn 3. There's Martin Truex Jr. who made contact there with Joey Logano as we're going to take a 3 wide with them as we go down the straightaway. An opportunity to maybe get past Truex without any issues, but now Logano clears me as I tried to side draft him as we cross the line now as we go down towards turns 1. Logano's clear, but I'm going to risk it anyways now as we look at the inside of Truex. Thankfully, he pushes up the track and we get clear of Truex and we get away from Martin Truex Jr. as we head down the straightaway. So certainly a relief that we get our rival out of the way, at least for now. Like I said last episode, I really think we need to try and get rid of this rivalry with Martin Truex Jr. That means maybe apologizing to him even if he gets into me, as well as just trying to stay away from him on track as much as possible. Now there's a bit of a checkup, and that allows me to get to the inside of Keselowski. We even briefly got ahead of Joey Logano and tried to take over the 5th position from Brad Keselowski as we got sideways through the corner there as we came out of turns 3, trying to take the position, but we couldn't quite get it from Brad as he went down the straightaway. And as we came through now on lap 5, we had actually lost the spot again to Joey Logano, but still sitting P5 as we look to the inside of Keselowski again as we were heading down towards turns 3. Side by side with Brad Keselowski as we go into the corner, now looking to the inside of Joey Logano, as well as we exit turns 3, heading down the front straightaway. We would take over P3 and fall in line behind Chase Elliott for a moment, but we would actually be able to get to the left-hand side of him now as we came to lap 7, approaching the tunnel turn, trying to take over second from Elliott, our teammate, now as we exit the tunnel turn, now making contact with the 9 of Elliott. Now as we push down the track, we make the save, and we hold on to the car. Now as we're going to go 3 wide with Elliott and Keselowski as we go down into turns 3. Elliott's going to back out of the 3 wide. Now it's just myself and Keselowski side by side as we exit turns 3. And we would continue battling it out here with Brad Keselowski as he went down the straightaway. Now as he came through towards the end of lap 8 into the tunnel turn, still side by side with Keselowski as we exit the tunnel turn, heading down towards turn 3, doing whatever I can to take the second position away, as Kyle Larson at this point has run away with the lead, and he is definitely going to win this stage without a yellow. Now as we came through turn 3 on the exit of the corner, we would slice up in front of the 2 and take over second place now. And as we came through to the final lap in this second stage, still in P2, way behind Kyle Larson. He was long gone as we still have pressure from Brad Keselowski behind us as we go down through the tunnel turn for the final time in stage 1, and as we exit it pretty cleanly now down the straightaway. Larson looking for a playoff point here as we go down towards turns 3 for the final time. Behind us, it's Keselowski, Kurt Busch, and Joey Logano that rounds out the top 5 as we come through turns 3 for the final time. Kyle Busch tries to hold off Kevin Harvick, as well as Kyle Larson comes through to win stage 1, and we're going to hold off Keselowski to get second in the first stage here in Pocono. So a pretty solid result considering we started down in 10th. Certainly showing some speed, but Larson right now has a rocket of a car. And we would pit though for 2 cans of fuel as well as 4 tires. Thankfully the AI took the same amount of tires, and we would be able to come out in the second position, which can set us up well here for this start on the second stage. We might be able to steal the lead from Kyle Larson if we nail this restart the right way as we get ready to go green now and start stage 2. Kyle Larson and myself on the front row as the green flag is back out behind us. It's Keselowski and Kurt Busch on that second row for 3rd and 4th as we make the long stretch down towards turns 1, and we have the edge over Larson as we go down towards turns 1. We are clear for the lead over Kyle Larson as we go down into the first corner. It's been a while since we have led a race here in this season. It's been since Talladega, actually, since we have led a race. Now as we head down the straightaway, Larson holding onto that second position, and he has still a really fast car, and you can see he's already on my back bumper. As we go down towards the tunnel turn, he's going to look up the inside, so I'm going to give him the room. I'm not going to risk causing an incident now as we come through on the exit of the tunnel turn. Larson at my left rear as we head down towards turns 3. Not really worth trying to battle him too much now. We're not even halfway through this race, so Larson comes through to take the lead now as Keselowski barely touches me in the left rear as he's going to get ahead of me as we head down the straightaway. But obviously I'm going to try and side draft Keselowski because we want to at least hold on to second. So there you see the side draft attempt, and it certainly works in my favor as we go down towards turns 1. Help from the draft from Larson as well, as we're still side by side though with Keselowski, but we might have enough momentum on the outside here to propel ahead of him, and yes we do. We are able to get ahead of Brad Keselowski as we exit turn 1 heading down the straightaway. And this was pretty much though as far as we would get. We would kind of get stuck here as we came through now on lap 6 of 10 in the second stage, still in that second position right behind Kyle Larson, trying to put the pressure on him, but we had started to drive away from Keselowski there in 3rd, Kyle Busch in 4th, so it was just myself and Larson now as we came to the end of lap 6 here, just maintaining my gap between Larson now as we came through straight to the final lap in the second stage. We had driven away even further, but we couldn't quite get to the back bumper of Kyle Larson as we head down towards turns 1 here for the final time in this second stage. So certainly showing that we have speed and maybe a potential car that could battle it out for a victory here in Pocono now as we just try to get to the back of Larson. But like I said, he's so fast that even with the draft, I just couldn't quite get to his bumper now as we head down towards the tunnel turn for the final time here in the second stage. Going a little bit wide there, a bit of a mistake on my part now as we're going to have to get out of the throttle on the exit, and that allows Larson to stay pretty safe and pretty comfortably ahead of myself as we go down towards turns 3 for the final time here in stage 2, trying to get to the back of the 42, but just can't quite make it happen now as we exit turns 3, just about half a car length or so behind Larson, but Larson holds on to win the second stage as we come through to get second for the second stage in a row as well. So still showing a good amount of speed here in Pocono, but obviously every time we go into the final stage at Pocono, we always lose a bunch of positions, and we would take 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires on this pit stop, and unfortunately we drop down to the 20th position here for the start of the final stage. So certainly a challenge here for this final stage, but I'm confident we can work our way forwards now as the green flag is out, and this final stage is underway. Also being back in 20th means something else. We are going to have to pass our rival of Martin Truex Jr. again now as we get down to the inside, being very aggressive, kind of forcing the 3 out of the way there as we head down towards turns 1, 3 wide with Bubba Wallace as we go down into turns 1 up to P17 behind Daniel Suarez in the number 41 car. He's just barely inside the playoffs right now, so don't want to mess with him too much. Don't want to end up messing his race over as he battles alongside his Stuart Haas Racing teammate of Eric Almirola, who has had a rough time here recently as well in our career mode now as we go down towards the tunnel turn on the inside of Paul Menard as we come through the center of the corner. Danny Hamlin loses a ton of momentum. There's make contact with Menard, gets sideways, but thankfully we hang on to the car as Austin Dillon comes through to look to my outside as we go down towards turns 3. Kyle Larson still leads away, but second place now belongs to Eric Jones in the number 20 car for Joe Gibbs Racing. Now as we exit the corner, a bunch of momentum looking to the inside of Ryan Blaney into the back of Almirola. We're going to get to the inside of him, and up ahead there you see our rival of Martin Truex Jr. not having a great race today, so hopefully we don't have to waste a lot of time getting past Truex as we go down towards turns 1 on the inside of Almirola. We would be able to take the position away from him and set our sights on Daniel Suarez. And we would be able to build up some momentum here on the exit of turn 1, clearing Almirola. And now right on the back of Suarez, we look to the left-hand side of him as we head down towards the tunnel turn, trying to gain as many spots as early as possible here so we can build ourselves up a better run towards the end of this race. We would get past Suarez and now get to the back of our rival of Martin Truex Jr. now as we came to just 10 to go, right on the back of Truex now as we look to the inside, making a little bit of contact there with his bumper as he was so slow on the exit of the tunnel turn. It caught me completely off guard now, but as we came through on lap 32 the next time around through turns 1, we look to the outside of Truex now as we come through turns 1. He is pushing me up the track now as we exit the corner. He hits me and we get into the wall now as he's going to push me down the back straightaway, certainly making it known he still does not like me at all. So we need to send it in pretty deep into the tunnel turn to get away from him, and sure enough, we do get away from him after sending it in pretty deep, and we get ahead of our rival of Truex and now focus on what's ahead of us here in this final 9 laps here in Pocono. As we get past Kozlowski, we would also get to the inside of Kyle Busch. We would be able to get past Kyle Busch as well and run down Kurt Busch now as we're looking to the inside of him going through the tunnel turn. So we would pass Kurt Busch, we would also pass Chris Buescher, who would fall behind, so we would move up into P5 and now set our sights on Kevin Harvick here with 5 laps to go, who is a terrible tunnel turn, and now we look to the outside of him as we head down the back straightaway, down towards turn 3 using the draft from Logano, and we get clear of Harvick as we go down into the corner and move up into 4th behind Joey Logano now as he came through on lap 37, still in P4 behind Logano, but there's trouble. Eric Jones goes spinning from 2nd now as we come out of turn 3. He is all the way down in the inside wall, so no caution's going to fly. Now as we come through to just a lap and a half to go at this point, Larson has just continued to dominate this race. And there you see Eric Jones just sitting there in the grass. Not sure why he hasn't got moving, but now we come through to take the white flag here in Pocono. Obviously, we're not going to be winning this race without a caution. Now, Kevin Harvick has actually been able to stick with us and put the pressure on me as we go down towards turns 1, but Kyle Larson, I think, has led every single lap just about in this race now as we come through on the exit of turn 1, putting the pressure on now. Joey Logano, as we hit down the straightaway, he tries to hold on to that 2nd position. Still looking for win number 1, I believe Logano is on the season. Last season in our career mode, he went completely winless as we head down through the tunnel turn for the final time here in Pocono. Larson trying to hold on to the victory now as we head down the straightaway, trying to put the pressure, like I said, on Logano as we head down towards turns 3 for the final time. Harvick lurking behind in case there's a mistake made from one of us as we come through the center of turns 3. And on the exit, Kyle Larson has put on a great show for everybody. He has done nothing wrong, and he will win in Pocono as we come through to finish in the 3rd position, which I was pretty careful towards the end, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, considering how everything has gone recently for us, I was just really in more of a finish the race mode instead of try and risk it and make some really aggressive move towards the end and try to win the race. So certainly, finally, just happy to actually finish in the top 10 again, considering what has happened here recently. We've been on a slump, but hopefully this is a sign that we're getting the slump out of here. Obviously, going to Michigan in the next episode, another track where we have a great history. We've had, I think, like 3 or 4 second place finishes at Michigan, as well as a victory there. As Truex still not happy with me, we actually apologized to him trying to just get this rivalry out of here, because if we continue this rivalry into the playoffs, it's going to be a terrible time for us. We're probably not even going to have a chance at a championship if Truex is a rival. But there you see the playoff standings on your screen, and as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very, very appreciated. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this video and other videos. So we'll see how the next one goes at Michigan. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.